Hello, I am Tycho.
And I am Max.
And we are with Travis Robotics.
Today we will be doing an unboxing video for the Vex IQ's beta mechanics set.
So shall we start?
Totally legitimate cutting of the box.
So first off, we have a bag of wheels. Hooray! It seems like there's two different sizes and some pulleys. And there's also these tires over here.
It also seems that the box is pregnant.
Oh joy!
It also seems the box is pregnant with Box Junior and Box the Second. It seems they're different. This one is the Vex Elementary Base Kit.
This is the add-on kit, it seems.
So this is probably going to have the more core elements. And that might have just like extra beams and such.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be opening the elementary kit first. So here we are opening the bags and boxes. First, this was the bag of wheels on the top. Let's open it up.
Shall I?
I just said to. Nut. So we got some plain tires. Same kind. And then we have wheels as well. Come separately.
Let's see if these are the same wheels. Yes, they seem to be in the kit. They seem to go together. So then we have these other smaller tires.
Same design, but a different size.
Yes. And they seem to go with these, right?
Same shape, same holes in the base. Last size, smallest one. It's rather small.
They actually appear to be.
The other ones.
I don't think we have a hub for this one.
No, I thought we did.
So
no, we don't have a hub for it.
So then this is the actual smallest size. They go with the pulley. They're not actually all tires. Tiny.
Not quite a wheel.
They go with these
red circles.
See, they're pulleys.
You'll notice, if I put it up here, the holes are sort of square, as opposed to the Lego ones, which are a cross shape.
This is not included in the set.
Anyways. So here's the first box. It is the core box, as from before. So let's go ahead and open this. Yet again, more bags.
So then,
get all of these out here.
so to start off, we have
more wheels.
Let's see.
More wheels.
Hooray.
Oh goody!
They're in more bags. Bags in bags in bags.
Bags in sub-bags. And yet more bags. I'm not quite sure what this is.
Let's find out.
Okay.
I still can't tell.
A whole bunch of little bags.
So we're gonna go through these bags one by one.
Bunch of smaller bags. We got the large bag seems to have a bunch of kind of standoff pieces and such.
These look more like the angle pieces right here. See?
Yes.
They go at angles, connecting two pieces.
Yeah,
else.
an angle connector for plates, because a lot of these, in case of Vex, the majority of the construction materials are sort of in plates instead of just beams. So it's quite likely a bunch of these will be for putting beams and plates at right angles to each other. This is a sort of small plate for peg holes around the sides and an axle hole in the center. Another sort of piece with pegs and connectors in it. Looks sort of like, I suppose, sort of like a pivot kind of piece.
Looks like you could spin something on it.
Yes.
Let's see. Then we have some different sizes of standoff pieces. Like, this seems to be one of the smaller ones right here. This is a medium one. This appears to be the largest kind right here.
Yeah, that's probably the largest size. Oh dear.
See? Pretty long.
That's problematic. We got a sort of mixture between an angle piece and a plate. More angle pieces. It would seem that pretty much all of this bag is for angles and standoffs, with a few small plates.
Okay, so apparently there's another size of standoff. It's pretty small.
Yeah, that's probably the smallest one.
Smallest one. It's
Tiny.
tiny little one.
This seems to be a little bit different from the other kinds. Different color. Judging by this, I would assume it's a angle piece for the standoffs or pegs, because it's got a hole at the tip here, and then it's got another one in the side, so you can change the angles for those.
Kinda neat.
Without the beams. Taller versions of the pivotish piece.
From before.
Got some more of those. Anything? This here is sort of an L-beam kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Another angle
Holes
piece,
in the sides.
putting beams on it.
Holes in the sides and pegs on the edges.
That could be useful.
I suppose that could be a corner for 3 cases at once.
So then we got this is a kind of funky piece.
It's sort of half of one of the others before that were a mixture of, yeah, sort of like a half of one of these, it would seem. Sort of one-off corner pieces, just one peg and one hole.
This is a pretty neat piece. It doesn't look like it has any of the pegs on it, just a smallish piece.
It's just a beam.
Pretty long beam, axle in the middle.
Instead of a peg, yeah.
Yeah. So then, on to the next bag. This seems to have some important parts related to axles in it.
And yet more bags.
Including the axles. Let's start opening these up.
Let's probably start with all the different sizes of axle, maybe lay them out next to each other to see see the range of how big they are, perhaps. It's got a whole bunch of sizes. The axles are metal.
They're squares.
As opposed to the plastic in all the other...
The other pieces?
Yes.
These seem to be the smallest.
Probably to make them more durable.
Yeah.
Also as before, square. Well, sort of rounded-ish square.
So these appear
to be had a few more sizes.
All of the sizes of axles.
Oh, we had a few more.
In this kit, there appear to be only 4. There might be more in the next versions or in the add-on kit. So this is all I have in here.
Then the rest is probably more stuff for the axles.
Yes.
Although it might not be. I'm not really sure what this is.
That's a funky looking piece. It looks like it's only for pegs though.
Perhaps you're supposed to be able to fit the axle through this sort of slot in the side maybe, and it grips it so it can sort of turn around on that axis.
It looks kind of like some sort of
and it's got 2 pegs in it.
head.
Yeah, it looks kind of like a mouth.
Isn't that neat?
Another kind of odd piece. I'm not quite sure what this is. It's like a very rounded off gear.
We probably wouldn't.
Very round teeth.
We probably haven't seen what it's supposed to connect to yet. See, it's a much bigger hole than the pegs.
Possibly it holds a larger kind of peg that the axle can fit through. Maybe reinforce a wheel or something like that.
So, let's see.
Keep them over here.
This is a interesting piece. It's kind of rubber.
Perhaps it interlocks with the other kind that we just had.
It's not.
It looks
like it's not plastic, but it's not quite rubber. It's kind of in between.
Yeah, it is rubberish.
But not.
Oh, I think it's.
Hard.
I think it's rubber, and then there's a sort of little horseshoe kind of shape inside, and I think that's plastic.
Yeah, that feels like plastic.
To hold it in place, probably.
We don't know what this is for yet.
Axles don't seem. It doesn't seem that an axle would fit in here. So, oh, thank you.
And the.
Oh wow! It just instantly fit in.
So it's supposed to.
You just tossed it in, and it just.
Yeah.
Went into one. Amazing.
I think.
Perhaps they're like a bushing kind of thing.
A much tighter, better bushing than some other alternatives, maybe.
It doesn't seem to go all the way through. Perhaps it's just an end cap kind of thing.
Ah, it is. One side has a bigger hole than the other. See? Slightly bigger. Or is this the slightly smaller one? Yeah, that's the slightly smaller side.
Off those. This looks sort of similar.
That looks like it's probably a bushing.
Yeah. Probably a bushing. These are plastic.
So
completely hard plastic.
They probably aren't bushings then, because, yeah.
As in just spacer bushings.
Ah, they're probably
they fit
just
on
spacers.
And they can slide freely. It's probably just a spacer.
I wonder if there are bushings then.
I think those count as bushings. Sort of.
Yeah.
Then we got some more of those, but they are much thinner.
They're like half spacers, I guess.
They're like fingernail width, these ones.
Tiny.
The other ones were this thick. A bit thicker.
This is a funky little piece right here.
Oh yeah. It would seem to be a converter from axle rotation to peg motion. So we've got a peg hole, an axle hole there, and then we got a peg on the other side.
Or maybe they're like supposed to be caps that you can plug into something. Can I see an axle? Like maybe you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
this?
we know they fit in there. I suppose they could also be used as caps. That works too.
What was that?
I think we missed a bag of the small plate before.
Yeah. So what else is there?
Big bag. We have 3 kinds of parts left. Well, 4.
Four,
we have
actually.
a pulley system kind of. Oh, what's this?
We apparently mixed these up with some of the plates, but they're actually different.
It looks like the plate on this side, and on the other side it has a sort of, kind of.
Rise up thing.
Yeah, it has a sort of hub, I suppose. I think that's supposed to sort of lock around it, maybe.
These all have peg holes, but this has a place
hole.
to plug in an axle. This is a lot harder than the...
Perhaps it's a one-way thing, and you can only put it in one direction.
Yeah, it seems to be a one-way thing.
Okay.
You can't get it through that other side.
Odd.
Funky.
So then we got 4 kinds of pieces left. We got something that looks like a pulley system bag.
Why don't we open them up, Max? Let's open them up, okay?
We got gears. We have plain pegs, and then we have a giant honking bag of beams and plates.
It's kind of hard to see them all, so we should probably open them up. Look at the camera.
I say we save the beams for last.
Yeah.
It's the biggest
We're
bag.
supposed to wait and show everyone later.
Meh. So this is the pulley systems kind of bag.
And rubber bands, too.
I think the rubber bands are probably for the pulleys.
Yeah, probably.
Let's go ahead and open up the pulley wheel bags first. So, just like with the wheels, we got a whole bunch of different sizes.
They seem to be pretty much the same.
So
These are pretty much the same as the ones that we got in the big, huge wheel bag before.
We got
We
this
have some
size.
other sizes, larger ones.
We have this
even
size.
Larger ones.
This is the biggest one. It would seem it's about the size of the medium wheels.
Small wheels. Yeah.
And we got the smallest one here.
Tiny.
Yes. Then we got the rubber bands, which would go with the pulleys to make a pulley system. Let's lay out the different sizes. Yeah, that size. Oh, this is not a rubber band.
It appears to be a wheel for the medium-sized, a tire for the medium-sized pulley.
Yeah, so it can function as a tire instead of a pulley wheel. Get some of the empty bags out of the way. Another one of the rubber bands. Seems there's 2 of each. There's 2 rubber bands for each size.
So these would go in a pulley, or maybe a belt system like this.
So then different sizes we got. This is the smallest size.
You could probably only use 2 of these small ones.
For that one, yeah. We have this.
You could use the medium ones.
And then we have this one. It's kind of bent, but it would seem to be
Probably
the largest.
fit the large ones.
Yeah.
You missed one. That's a little smaller.
Yeah, it's just barely a little bit smaller than this size.
It also has measurements, it seems. We don't know what they're measured in yet, but see, this one says 140 by 70. This
Probably the dimensions of how far it can stretch or something like that.
100 hang on a sec. 100 by 70 here.
They all say by 70.
Yeah.
Perhaps that's...
Maybe it actually gives the ratios.
Perhaps.
That's a lot more. That's very useful.
Shame we already took them all out of the bags.
Like maybe these go in the same. These are in the same ratio. Maybe these are too.
I think it would mean like the size of the largest, of the smallest one to the size of the largest one it can hold, perhaps. If they're like directly adjacent to each other.
It's only the rubber bands that have those, it seems so far.
Let's move those away. This is the bag of pegs.
We probably should
pins.
not open them because we generally have
get-
trouble keeping track of all these
Yeah,
little pins.
these are probably the smallest piece. So if we open them up, it may get out of hand.
Hang on a sec.
Once again, we have two sorts of sizes. They're both maroon. We have this size. It's kind of hard to see, but it's the smallest one.
It's just a single on one side and another on the other side.
And it's got a little separator in the middle.
This has two on one side and one on the other. That might be useful for stacking on two different sizes.
Here we are.
We have some right here. See?
Over here. So we have the two sizes here. The one with 2 is on the right, and the one with 3 is on the left. Now we just got the not the axles,
Gears.
the gears and the boards.
Until we get to our add-on kit. Hooray.
Yet again, more sub bags. Let's do this in order this time because we can more easily see which ones are bigger than others. This one is the smallest. I think it's only got, say, 12 teeth on it, and just in one axle hole in the
It looks
center.
more like 10.
I think it's 12.
We don't know the sizes really. Oh, I think
It
this.
seems all of them are square except for one bag, which is crown gears.
The gears
of a
also
medium
have
size.
ratios. So it's only the gears and rubber bands. So I think they are ratios actually.
So this is the medium size. So we got the axle hole and then 4 peg holes. We have crown gears for going around angles.
They're kind of like bevel gears.
Yes, going around angles. They're the same size or slightly larger than the medium-sized gears. So yeah, they work like that. So you can go around a corner.
Bevel gears, kind of, I guess.
Yeah.
Just looks more like a crown. If you want to feel all royal.
Well, a bevel gear is a crown gear that's sort of mirrored in the middle. And then we've got the largest size. So it's got a axle hole with 8 pegs around the sides, and then 6 more peg holes around the circumference with a little indent design on it. So that's all of that.
Now,
And
on to the last bag of our basic kit.
piece de resistance, big honkin' bag of bags of bits and bobs.
Yay!
So this is the main these are the main structural pieces. Let's put most of these aside for now.
Yeah.
So this is the these are the actual beams and angled beams and plates that will be making up most of the structure of the robot and making it sturdy. This is an angled beam with 5 and a medium obtuse angle in the center.
It looks like 45.
Just halfway between right and straight angle.
Yeah.
We got some L beams, 3x5, and of course they can be reversed into
Any kind of shape
any
you want
direction.
of L and kind of L. We always find pieces like that useful.
Got some smaller versions of the L beams, with 2x3
Yeah.
for smaller kinds of things. I'm not quite sure to call these. I think they might be called like a C or a J.
Let's call them bridge pieces. 'Cause look, they look kind of like a bridge, don't they?
Yeah. let's just call this a J piece.
Either one works.
Yeah. So we have what would be a 4x4, except that it's clipped on the corner. So we have 3x3x3 kind of thing instead. And we got a handful of those.
So here,
We have some T's as well.
Those are pretty neat.
Oh dear. Keep calm and carry on.
We're not in Britain.
That's not British. But never mind.
Yes, it is.
Meh. So we got T beams, 3x4. Got 4 of those. We might have some more, smaller size.
Probably not.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to have another size.
I don't think
We
it
have
would really
more
work.
of the. We have more of the 5 obtuse angles.
Except this seems to be a little wider. Maybe not. But
Oh yeah, they do seem to be a little bit wider.
Yeah.
And then the same
Except
5 long, except yet wider.
they just get wider and wider.
There aren't any more of those though, so.
So
Then we have
we got these
then we have just straight beams.
4 long,
Yeah. So
even
I said
number.
before.
Those are good.
4 long. Yeah, it seems to go up by 2 from there instead of 1 by 1. They might also have odd ones, perhaps.
Like the 3 long, but it had an axle hole in the middle.
Yeah,
Kind of like that.
except with all pegs or something like that in the later versions, because this is just the beta. So then we have a 6 one, 6 pegs long. And it keeps going up from there. We have an 8 longs. You can see. Long. These also have dimensions on them, but they don't seem to be according to it. Perhaps it's in millimeters or something like that.
Millimeters are cool. I like millimeters.
Then we have a 10 long.
They just get bigger and bigger. And bigger.
And that seems to be that seems to be the largest size for beams.
So, let's move on to the plates.
Okay. Once again, we'll start from smallest and go up. Smallest plate like the others from before, except it's all pegs instead of with an axle hole in the middle.
Yep.
2x2. This has squares and rectangles.
Rectangular bit.
Yes, 4x2.
Bits and bobs.
Now, as you've noticed, these also have pegs in the middle, so they have a square design, and they also have triangles inside that to make another peg in the center, so that there's more areas where you can actually put pegs and more variability to how you can connect them. Then we have a 6x2.
I'm assuming they'll get longer and longer.
Yes.
8x2.
Yes. Just pushing everything over there.
This seems to be the next size up.
Yeah. These will be a 10x2. Yeah, 10x2.
Right here. And finally, the big one. A 12x2. No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
It's
9.
a 16x2, pardon me.
Yeah, it is a 16x2.
So they completely skipped
12.
12 and 14. Well,
Because
there's another.
12 12 was adopted.
There's another interesting feature. See, these can bend. That's
Oh,
a lot.
noticed that.
That's very useful. They're not all rigid.
That can also be a curse, though. Maybe if you're trying to make something rigid, but you can just reinforce them further, probably to make them stronger.
Make them thicker. So
You got another square size. This is 4x4. This is definitely less bendy than the other ones because it's
a complete square.
Got 4 of those, shape and
Smaller
size.
square, you know.
And the last in here.
It appears to be.
Hold on. Technical difficulties.
Down.
There we are. It seems I skipped again. And it went to 10. 4x10.
So that's it for that.
Yeah, that's
the
it
base
for
kit box.
Yeah, that's all for the base kit. Now we'll be moving along to the
Yay!
secondary part.
Add-on kits. This one's mine.
Yeah, I know. Elementary
Add-on
foundation kit.
This isn't. Yeah, it's the foundation add-on kit.
It's upside down though. I'll open it in the box.
Hang on a second. There we go. Now then, it appears to have everything the last